Hi everyone, thank you so much for tuning into my channel. Today I'm sharing how I make meat and potato stew in my instant pot or Pakistani style Aalo Gosht. It's a super quick and easy recipe and I love serving it with plain boiled rice. It's an absolute comfort food and a staple at my house. So let's get started with the recipe, but before that please do consider subscribing to my channel and giving this video a big thumbs up. So here I have about 600 grams of goat or mutton with bone. You can also use beef or lamb. I prefer mutton and I typically always use the shank of the animal because that's the most moist and soft part. Then I have one medium onion that I roughly chopped, two medium small tomatoes also roughly chopped. It's a little bit steamed to make the process faster, but you can use whole tomatoes, it shouldn't be a problem. Then I'm using about 8 to 12 small baby potatoes. You can use 2 to 4 large russet potatoes as well. Then I'll be using 1 to 2 tablespoons of yogurt, which is optional. It adds a lot of fragrance to your dish, but it's not mandatory. Then I have about half a tablespoon of Korma Masala, which is optional too, 1 teaspoon each of cumin and coriander powder, quarter teaspoon of turmeric, half to 1 teaspoon of red chili powder, and here I have 1.5 tablespoons of ginger garlic paste. Then I have salt to taste, about a teaspoon, more or less depending on how you like it. Then for whole spices I have 1 tezpata, a small piece of cinnamon, 4 green cardamoms, 4 whole black cardamoms. So today, because I'm in a hurry, I'm going to be doing the dump and go, but if you're worried that your meat is going to break apart and it's going to disintegrate, especially once you are bonifying the masala, you can fry it just the way I showed you guys how to do in the methi gosht video. I'm going to link it here for you. So you just fry the meat prior to adding everything, and that holds the meat and it makes the outer layer, the tendons, a little bit stronger so that it doesn't fall apart. It will still be super moist. After the pressure cooking, it would just be able to hold its shape better. So here I have dumped everything in my instant pot with about 3 to 4 tablespoons of water, because the onion is going to release a lot of moisture, and the more moisture you add deliberately, the more longer it's going to take you to bonify the end result. So it's just to save time. So quarter cup is the maximum I would recommend adding in it. And then for pressure cooking, I'm going to pressure cook it for about 20 minutes because I'm using it with bones. On low pressure 20 minutes, for beef 35 minutes. So once that is up, I'm going to do a quick pressure release, because at this point your meat should be literally about to fall off the bones. It gets super soft. I'm putting my instant pot on saute mode. I typically just let it bubble so that most of the moisture can evaporate while I do other things around my house. And I also add potatoes at this point so that they can start cooking. The baby potatoes, they are super fast to cook, so I love using those. Plus you don't have to peel the skin as well. And because the meat is really tender, I was worried it's gonna fall off. I just take it out, put in a bowl, and let everything simmer till it looks something like this. So I generally put a 20 or 15 minutes timer, and I just check it once the water is pretty much evaporated. Then I add in the oil and my whole spices, and then I start to bonify it, which is going to take maybe about 10 to 15 minutes. So the more you actually reduce your gravy and the more you bonify it, the more delicious your Aalo Gosht or any dish is going to be. Also, if you're using yogurt, you add it at this point. Once the oil starts to come out, that's when you add the yogurt, and then you cook it a bit further for maybe a minute more. It really enhances the flavor and the fragrance both of your dish. So once that is done, I add in the liquid about 1.5 to 2 cups of water. You can add more or less depending on your preferred consistency for the Aalo Gosht. And then I'm going to pressure cook it again for 5 minutes, and this is just so to make sure that the potatoes are cooked through, and also it brings the oil on top of your gravy. So the tari that you see on top of the Aalo Gosht, it comes from the final pressure cooking. So once the timer is up, I do a quick pressure release, and you can either let it sit or serve it right away with some fresh chopped coriander and some fresh chopped green chilies and some julienne ginger. And look at that, doesn't that look absolutely marvelous? You can also check your potatoes at this point if they're not fully cooked yet. Give it maybe 4 or 5 minutes more of pressure cooking. This is the consistency that is perfect and ideal for me. You can adjust it according to your taste. And I'm gonna serve it with some rice, and you will see that the meat is gonna literally, I'm gonna touch it and it's gonna fall off and it's gonna break. It's so delicious, one of my absolute favorites. So that was all for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and this recipe. If you try it, please do share your recreations with me on my Instagram page. Until next time, the Homemaker Baker, over and out.